The final day. This is the end of hashtag poetry challenge celebrating the month of April. Yeah, April Poetry Challenge, National Poetry Month. And it has been awesome. My challenge on April 1st, thank you, Bree. My challenge on April 1st was to see if I could get through all 30 days without skipping a day. And we did not. I did not skip a day, though I am missing a video. I will be putting that video up later. That's the video that I accidentally showed my private address, which if you're watching this, you probably already have anyways, but probably not a good idea to share that on the intranet. So anyways, it's the last day. This has been super fun. I think I may be a little bit crazy saying this, but I'm going to try to keep this going. I think I'm going to do this every day at noon for as long as it happens. And I'm going to say noon-ish, like I might be a few minutes late sometimes because there's a lot of things coming up like StokerCon. And then in July, there's a trip. And then in June, I'll be doing this from Brazil because I'll be going to Brazil to see my granddaughter, my daughter, and her husband. And so there's a lot of crazy things. So, but you know what? This has been so much fun. I'm just going to see how long I can keep it going. And I bounced around a lot through the month. Everything went on YouTube. So I have a YouTube line of all the videos, including the one that I have to replace after I do a little editing to get that address out of there. So they're all there. But I was also bouncing around between Facebook and a couple other platforms to see which ones I really like. So I think I will stick with Twitch, Twitter, and of course YouTube, which is where the main part of these go. And then I'm sharing these over to Ko-fi at points and doing further information on there. But we can talk about that tomorrow because I will still be here doing this. And today, and I'm not going to share Breakfast Poetry Live because tomorrow is May 1st, so there won't be a Breakfast Poetry Live unless Amy has also decided that she wants to do this every day, which no pressure. But yeah, I will say that I grew as a poet and I grew as a person during this time. It inspired me to try to look better because every day as I was looking at myself, I was like, wow, I really look, I could use a little updating. I want to be my authentic self, but I could be my authentic self updated a little bit. But you can see the super bright lipstick has already fallen. The like super curl thing, I did that 2 days. I'm like, that is not happening every morning. So essentially what I did was I went back to my 80s look. Pretty much. You want to know what I look like in the 80s? This was it. So let's get to poetry because that's the other thing is if I'm going to do this every morning, I really want to stick to the kind of like the 5-minute format. Fast, furious poetry, infusion, bust a move, and be gone because you have things to do and I got a bunch of things to do and we just want a little poetry infusion. So let's get on with it. Today, this is a poem I wrote last night. It's not really polished, and this is the rough draft. So you ever want to see what a rough draft poem looks like? This is it. I wrote this last night, and a lot of times I'll write in my email, and then I send it to myself, and that way I've got it's just there, and I don't have to worry about like having paper and stuff because I always have my phone on me. So this is a poem I wrote last night in my email. And I think it's a series I'm going to start called I Want You to Know. You know, just little things that you wish you could tell everybody. So, and I am so feeling this right now. It's been a crazy, wonderful, awesome week. And the next 2 weeks are going to be like insane coming up with Stokers. And there's like invites coming out the wazoo. And I'm feeling the imposter syndrome and I'm feeling the pressure. So that is where this poem came from last night. I want you to know success is a heavy bag. Expectations weigh like stones made of lead around the neck, pulling down what was once a smile. To shine, we give all, but be aware of the price. To win is to lose if we forget who we are and why we are here. The stress is a test and a reminder of why we started this path, of what was the point. The act of climbing is meaningless if we don't reach back for our friends and help them climb too. Together, it's not lonely. There's ample space at the pinnacle. And then together, we can all share the bright view. And then together we all can share the bright view. And that's that. And that's kind of where I'm coming at from right now. Is yesterday I was like freaking out. I was just kind of like, I can't handle this. Everybody's going to know I'm a fraud. And I'm pretending to be somebody I'm not, which I don't know who that would be, because this is me. Every ridiculous detail. This is it. My fancy look wound up being me as a teenager back in the 80s. So the two looks of my life. But yeah, anyways, success is stressful. And I feel like I am getting some success. And then, of course, I'm like, oh my God, by even saying that, the imposter syndrome kicks in like big time. So it is, as I was telling a friend recently, who we had this whole discussion last year about being like having more attention paid to you. And I said, be careful what you wish for, because it's really stressful. And now that person is also in that spot. And I was right? Be careful what you wish for, because you may get it. But it's all good. As long as I focus on why I'm doing this, and this is to, I don't know, create a platform for poetry to show that it's a practical, fun, and accessible thing, and it's not esoteric. And we all have poems inside of us, and poems are super useful for therapy and all sorts of reasons. We talked about protest poetry this month, and this poem that I wrote that I just shared, that's a therapy poem. I was feeling super stressed out last night about everything. Like I can't, I'm gonna crack. And so I wrote a poem about what I felt. And that is like Dumbledore and the pensieve in Harry Potter, where he takes the thoughts out of his mind and he puts them in the pensieve, and now they're not pestering him anymore. That's what poetry is to me a lot of times. I'm just unburdening what's going on in my head. So tomorrow I will be back around noon to do this again. It won't be part of the poetry challenge. Well, I guess it's my personal poetry challenge now. And no promises for how long that will last. We're just going to go until we don't go anymore. But if you look in the descriptions, this is the exciting thing I have to say. If you look in the description, I put them away. The little the little books, the fold out books, 1-page pocketbook, 1 paper pocketbook. I can't talk. 1 paper pocketbook that I've been crapping on about for the last couple days. The address to send me one is in the description. Please send me pocketbooks. I think I have one in my mail today. And when I receive these wonderful little gems, I'm going to share them on this. That was one of the points of doing this every day, like continuing, because I can share pocketbooks and I can share poetry books that friends gave me, like this one that I shared. This just happens to be sitting next to my desk from D&B Fierce. And a couple days ago, I took a random paragraph and read it as a poem, just to show how accessible and fun poetry is. But yeah, send me those books. Send me, especially the pocket books, because that doesn't cost anything. It's a stamp and a little bit of ingenuity on a piece of paper that you photocopy, or print off your printer. I really want to see how many of these I can collect from everywhere. And then the other thing I will be is third Sunday, Amy Zoller's first breakfast poetry, or breakfast poetry. And I will be doing our Cake and Hyperbole show, and I will be reading a couple of Exquisite Corpses, the one from Ko-fi. So if you want to go enter that still, that's on Ko-fi. Just search my name, Angela Yuriko Smith, and you will find that. And you can enter a line for that. I will be putting that together as a poem tomorrow, because April will be over. And then I have 2 other Exquisite Corpses that I do need to put together for everybody. But yeah, anyways, I just got like super excited. I was kind of feeling all super stressed. And that is the point of my poem, is if I can remember why I'm doing this, which is that I'm a poetry geek and I really have no life other than this, then it's not stressful anymore, because it's just fun and challenging. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time-ish, same places, which would be Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and Let's do this. Let's see how many days I can go with. So I will say right now, we're at 30. 30 consecutive days of lunchtime poetry or second breakfast poetry. All right. I will talk to you tomorrow, unless that is the one that breaks the chain and I don't do it anymore. Until then, bye and have a beautiful poetic day. Yeah, just have a good day.